Hey guys, what's going on? It's Lewis here with Crypto Elite. Today's date is May 31st. Happy Memorial Day, and just want to give a remembrance to the troops in America that have fallen so that we can have the freedom to be able to do basically whatever we want in this amazing country. Basically, I wouldn't be able to do this without all of the people who sacrificed their lives. So I want to just say that they're all appreciated, and I hope you guys have a very good Memorial Day. Now, with saying that, I'd like to get into my hopefully daily crypto updates. Like I've mentioned before, I'm trying to do crypto updates every single day. I wanted to do this for a very long time, but sometimes life, you just don't make the best decisions in life, and at this point, I can do it now, so I'm planning on trying to do it as much as I can. And basically what I'm going to do and what I'm doing is I have I guess you could call it a checklist of things that I go through when I do my market updates. And if I go through them every single day with you, then you could get some insight into what I'm doing and when I deploy large sums of capital and when I take out large sums of capital and things like that, and you can understand why. And so I have this thing that I do every single Monday, or most Mondays. It's called a market scan, where I spend hours and hours and hours, sometimes even up to 10, 15 hours sometimes, just going through the market. And the first couple things that I do are I look at some really big picture stuff. So if I could look at that big picture stuff basically every single day, I can know when we're getting closer and closer and closer to it, and so can you. And then that could help you prepare for things such as this giant crash that we had a week and a half ago, or the bull market that we're still in my opinion. And it could basically help you to know when I'm going to be taking profits and going in and stuff like that. So I have this quote up here. It says, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful." This is a famous quote or supposed famous quote by Warren Buffett, who is one of the best investors of all of time. I also have something on my desk, or on my wall right next to my desk. It says, "The best chance to deploy capital is when things are going down." And it's always scary when things are going down to put in a lot of money, because you never really know what's going to happen. But that's really where faith comes in, and having a good understanding of cryptocurrencies and how they're changing the world, and the people that are working with them and the people that are working on them, and pretty much what cryptocurrencies are. That's what enabled me to go really heavy back, last year, or 2019, 2020, when things were pretty low. It's because it was just so obvious that of course cryptocurrencies are here to stay, and they're going to change the world, and it's a whole entire new market. So that really put a lot of confidence in me to put money in at the lows. So right now we're not quite at the lows, but we are 50% off, 60% off. So stacking in a little bit at a time isn't really a bad idea in this situation right now. That's for your long-term accumulation portfolio. And I do have a video that I'm going to be coming out with very soon. It's taken me literally, I probably spent 15 hours just going through my portfolios and just really getting everything down to figure it out and put it into an Excel spreadsheet, so that I can make this overall video that I want to make for you guys, where I basically go over my overall strategy and how I do things. And I'm not going to say it's I can't say it's the best strategy, I can't say it's the worst strategy, but it employs basically everything that I've learned and really tries to take advantage of everything. So anyway, getting back to this market update, I have this quote up here, and there is actually something called the Fear and Greed Index, which you could see right here. Right now we're in extreme fear. And yesterday, we were in even more of extreme fear. We were in number 10, so we were at a 10 for the extreme fear. And when I think my strategy now is going to be, when this gets to a 10 or below, I think that's going to be an automatic buy from me. I'm going to have to just I'm just going to buy automatically if this gets to a 10 or below. And if this gets to a 5, then that's when I go all in, pretty much. I don't care. You don't even have to, this is something that you don't even have to look at the price to know that you should be going all in. Because just like that quote says, it says, be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. Well, this is the Fear and Greed Index, and it tells you exactly what that is. It says each day we analyze emotions and sentiments from different sources and crunch them into one simple number, the Fear and Greed Index for Bitcoin and other large cryptocurrencies. And this is from alternative.me or alternative.me. And I'm gonna add this to my market scan. So this is the first thing that I'm looking at right now. It's at Extreme Fear, which is number 18. It's not quite, it's not a 10 or below, so it's not time for me to go all in or anything. But it does show that people are still really scared right now. The next thing that I look at is something called the MVRV Z-score, and this has been historically shown all the way back to 2012, 2011, the best times to get into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And that is basically in this area, this green area box right here. And then the best time to sell is when we get up here to this red box, and especially if we hit the tipping point or hit the top of this red box. If we ever hit the top of this red box, that is when I'm probably gonna sell 80% of every single thing that I have. I switch it up. Sometimes I say 50%, sometimes I say 100%, sometimes I say 75%, but I'm going to sell a huge portion if this MVRV score ever comes up to the very, very top. Right now, we actually dropped very, very low, and considering that we were so close to this red zone before the big drop, it's actually a good thing, because now we could sustain the bull market, we could sustain this bull run, and keep on going up, in my opinion, at least. But obviously, you never really know what could happen with crypto. Although I just don't think that this bull run is over. So we have the Fear and Greed Index. We have the MVRV score. We have the Bitcoin Rainbow chart. And this was sort of created I think this was created like a meme, but at this point, it's become so ingrained that it's really shown like some good times to buy and sell, to be honest. So right now we're in the hodl position, or we're in the hodl part of the zone. Once it gets into the still cheap, if it ever gets into the still cheap zone, that would be pretty nice. That'd be a great time to buy. Of course, the time that I want to go, I'm going back and forth between wanting to go all in on or at 31,000 versus waiting and seeing if it'll hit 24,000. To be honest, I don't think that the difference that it's going to make is going to be that much. Waiting just like $5,000-$6,000 or $7,000 for Bitcoin when it's going to be at $100,000 plus, most likely by the end of the year. That's my opinion. So if it does get down to any of these areas, obviously that's a pretty good buy. So I'm still looking at that. And then the next thing that you have to look at, or the next thing that I look at, if I go into TradingView and I go to my market scan, I look at the total market cap. So if you look at the total market cap, you could see that we had plenty of bounces, and we were in this really awesome range. And as soon as we fell below it, bam. And it basically got down to the 61.8 of the entire move up, and then bounced back up to the 38.2 like it always does, then bounced back down to the 61.8, bounced all the way back up to the 38.2. And that is sort of bullish, to be honest. And then it came back down, and now we're in this really tight range. So it's like looking at the total market cap, it's a little difficult to say exactly what to do, because looking at just the price, it's in this, looks somewhat like a triangle-ish. Well, no, like, I guess if you take this bottom along with these bottoms, you could say this is sort of like, what the price action is telling you it is. Or we got the two double bottoms with the wicks, but they were so short-lived. They were bought up so quickly, and we're getting rejected off the daily moving averages at this point, and we did have the moving average crossover, which is not good. So it's like, at this point, do you want to go in because it's at the 200 moving averages and exponential moving averages? Or do you want to stay out because it's getting rejected off of the exponential, the shorter exponential moving averages? And you just can't really tell what to do. So it's in this tight range, and then I'm really hoping that it breaks lower and retouches the 61.8 one more time. Possibly the 78.6, but I really don't think it's going to come down here. I think that this will be the lows because 61.8 has been such a significant bounce number that's what it is. But if it pops up, like we're so close to rejection, and we're further away from support. And this is basically what I do, is like I look at support and I look at resistance, right? And you could say that this is support, right? You could say that this is support. So we have the support and the resistance. So this is the more tighter range. This is the tighter range right here, right between here and here. There you go. Right between here and here. And it's a 22% range. And basically we're closer to the resistance than we are to the support. So I don't want to necessarily go in so much if we're closer to the resistance than the support. I would much rather go in if we're closer to the support. That makes a lot more sense, you know? Or if we break through the resistance, then I would want to get in on a retest of the now support, because once the resistance gets broken, it turns into support, and that's when you want to go in. Of course, you should have stops or safety protocols, because sometimes it breaks through and then it's just a trick and it's a false breakout and then it comes right back down. So I'm not necessarily looking to get into like too much things right now, because the fear and greed index is at 18. It's not at 10. It's a little bit high. Not high, but like it's higher than me wanting to just ape in. This is still not really down in the green. Even if this came down here, down to this level, I'd probably be really keen to go in even around here. I would probably go in around here, because you could see there's major support area right here and all of that stuff. Even right here. So yeah, I'm not really keen to go in or out of anything. So let's look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. This is the other thing that I was looking at, is that Bitcoin dominance, it came all the way back up, and when everything crashed, and then like we had the nice rebound, and now we're like in between here and here again, and it might make more sense to do the altcoin dominance. I'll do that in a second. But basically, when this moves up, that's when the whole market crashes. When this moves down, the market goes back up. So it already moved back down. So now it's closer to the support than resistance. Like it's closer to the point where if it hits it, like, and goes back up, then the market's going to crash. And it makes more sense if I just go to the altcoin chart. Basically, you could see here, and this is the range. So this is the resistance, right? So when altcoin dominance hits resistance, it falls, and then altcoins fall in price. Makes sense. So we're so close to this previous resistance, right? Resistance, bam, it just keeps on getting, touched, which I guess you could argue, yeah, the more times that it gets touched, the weaker it becomes. But I just don't want to take a chance right now, given the circumstances. If we were down here, like, yeah, heck yeah. Like, and look at how many times it touched. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like, it kept on touching it. This only touched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So, yeah, I'm not keen to jump into anything like crazy right now. You know what I'm saying? But I am keen that, especially if something comes to the old levels, I would definitely want to get in. So I believe this is the I believe this was the chart that I was using for Bitcoin, and pretty much the same thing for Bitcoin. You know, like it's funny, total market cap, dominance level, just Bitcoin itself, like Bitcoin itself, it's in the middle, like right, it's like right in the middle between the support area. I guess you could bring it down just a tad if you want, but like between support and resistance, and like it's in the middle. So I don't really want to like jump in, even though it could be on its way back up to resistance and get a 10% jump, and then alts could do a huge jump as well. But it would be so much safer to just get in at if it came back down here to the support, or if it came, especially if it came back down here to the 3,000 level, 3,100 level. In fact, let me just bring this up because I think 31.5 is where I would want to get into, to be honest, at this point. I don't want to waste. I don't want to like. You sort of have to front run, and like it's just crazy because like look at this. This is the 60 came back down to 61.8 and bounced like. So we're getting rejected off of the EMAs, and we have the 200 EMAs as well. It just. Excuse me. It's just like. Yeah, okay, we could pump like crazy, but I don't think it's the time to jump in just looking at the charts, you know? You could do little scalps, like I've been doing little scalps all like back and forth all the time and doing really, really, really well, like how we just did with Matic and Link. I gave out in the free chat and the VIP, and we did really well with that. So like Ethereum, let's look at Ethereum. I believe this was my thing. Yeah, so we're moving up with Ethereum, and this was my trade. So it's like if it gets to the resistance, then I'm going to short it. But if it gets to, and it's already coming down off of here, but I don't really want to long it because it's like 3, 4. It's anywhere between like 3 and 10% away from the resistance, and it's 11, 12. No, it's 12, 15, or if you count this, 19, 20% away from the support. So yeah, if this comes up here, then I'm gonna add a short position. If it comes up, I don't know if it will, but we'll see. And this is lower low, lower high, lower high, lower high. And now we might get another lower high. Looking at DOT, sort of the same situation, like this is the resistance, this is the support, or you say this is the support, like $19, $20, even though it's only like 5%. So yeah, I guess the general gist of things is that sure, this is that it could have been the bottom. Maybe we could have gotten the bottom. Like let's go back to DOT because I like DOT, and look at the weekly, right? So like we just got 1 week, and then like is it going to be like this? Oh, this is a 3-day, sorry. This was just 1 wick. Like, did we just get 1 wick to refill the orders from back here that missed it again? And now we're moving up? It's possible, but we're definitely like micro possibly gonna see lower. Like Link, like I want Link to come back down and just tap this one more time. Although I did do this before. I remember I did this before, and like it tapped it and then it went lower, but it was still a good overall long-term hold entry position. Some of these things look like they could go up. So yeah, I just went through a couple more charts and they all look exactly the same. Like this is VET, right? Look at this. Bottom, top, V-shaped bottom, top, bottom, top. Let's look at ZRX. It literally the same exact thing. Bottom, top, V-shaped bottom, top, bottom on its way. Like you can't even tell the difference. It's the same exact chart. I wonder if SXP is the same. Basically the same thing for SXP. I wonder about ADA. ADA is probably different because ADA is the same thing except on a bigger scale. Even this AI on random coin. How about Band? Oh, Band had a nice pump. Nice. BAT. Yeah. Bottom, top, V-shaped bottom, top, bottom, and now it's just sort of just there. They're all the same things, and this is something that I'm not good at trading this. I don't know how you would trade this other than like I guess this would be the other than maybe doing some type of this type deal and then trying to get in right here with a stop over here, something like that, which I suppose that's okay. It's some type of inverse head and shoulders type deal. But other than that, I'm sort of just waiting for hopefully lower entries. I mean, like, yeah, I've said it before. I don't know if we're going to get the lowest of the lows, but like, for instance, Engine Coin. If Engine Coin comes back down to like 0.96 I'm sorry, it comes back down to 1, like this is a good enough price for me to get in because it's 75% off of the highs, like 74% off the highs, and like, I don't know, I just think in the long run, almost every single coin, whether it be Engine or VeChain or ADA or Link or BNB or whatever, they're all going to be coming back. Like, they're all going to be well above their all-time highs. So I'm just not really upset about it, So I'm comfortable holding, from down here. I just really want to buy more. Like, I have a lot of USDT on the line, so like on the sidelines, so like I really want them to come back down to their previous highs. Their previous lows. That would just be so great if they could do that, because then I could get in and I could buy a bit more, and I would love it. So, yeah, that's pretty much me. That's pretty much what I'm doing, considering that everything is sort of like in some like comp is basically like Bitcoin. It's on the 200-day moving averages, but it's below the exponential moving averages, and there's a lot of resistance and stuff. So it's like I don't really want to buy that. Most things are closer to the resistance than it's the sports. I don't really want to buy right now. And then everything else is sort of like this V-shaped thing, and then like they're in this area. So like, yeah, maybe it'll come back up here and then get rejected again. Like, this would probably be a good short position, like just doing this. That would be pretty epic. So that's what I'm looking for. That's my overall gist. I know this isn't like, oh, buy, but I do have a free chat, like, and in my free Discord, I did give out my, like, I gave out a link right here, like a trade. This is one that I just like, oh man, I saw it and I was like, oh man, you have to get in right now. And it's a solid 8%, you know, and it came up, it hit the target, it came back down, kind of could have re-entered, and then got in again for another 8%. So I do give out free trades sometimes in my free chat right here, and I gotta read the rest of the messages. But yeah, I'll put a link for that in the Discord, for the Discord in the link below. Anyway, hope you're doing good. By the way, I have to say the disclaimer: this is not financial advice. And yeah, hope everyone is profitable, and I'll see you in the next video.